watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. I'm David Preston on this Friday, May 17th. Earlier this week, an officer-involved shooting happened here in Pahrump on Benarch Road. Now, NCSO has released additional information regarding this incident.
On May 14th, earlier this week, an officer-involved shooting took place in Pahrump. While we initially reported on it, the Nye County Sheriff's Office have now released a press release regarding this incident. According to the press release, dispatch received a call that requested a welfare check due to the caller having not seen the resident for at least a week. The resident was identified as Michael Byers, who was 81 years old. The caller was concerned that Byers was either injured or deceased within the home. The officer involved in this shooting was identified as Deputy Nicholas Huggins, who was armed with a Nye County Sheriff's Office issued Glock 17 with a weapon-mounted light and is Huggins' third officer-involved shooting. After knocking on the door, Huggins walked around the property for approximately 3.5 minutes, looking through the windows in order to check if someone was in the residence. At one point, when circling back to the front door, Byers opened the door and pointed a Smith & Wesson 9mm handgun at Huggins.
Drop the gun. Nye County Sheriff's Office. 13, one at gunpoint. Nye County Sheriff's Office. Drop the gun. Nye County Sheriff's Office. Give me another unit. He's pointing a gun at me. 13, shots fired. Shots fired. Drop the gun. He's shooting at me.
The investigation thus far has determined Deputy Huggins fired shots 1 through 5 and Byers fired either shot 6 or 7, with the other shot fired by Deputy Huggins. Byers retreated into the house and called 911 at 8:06 p.m.
911, where's your emergency?
I want to know what the sheriff was doing on my property and shooting at me.
Can I have you talk to the deputies about it? They were there. We had somebody call because they were concerned that they hadn't seen you. So they were there for a welfare check. We have one of them talk to you?
Jesus Christ, couldn't they make an easier entrance?
Well, I can, like I said, we can have them talk to you. Have one of them talk to you? Can you go out and talk to them with a?
Well, I'm going to open the door.
Okay, you're going to open the door? Okay,
yeah,
can you make your introduction by the way?
I put my gun up. You tell that sheriff to put his gun up.
We will. We'll tell him to put his gun away.
After exiting the residence, Byers was taken into custody without further incident. He was later transported to Desert View Hospital in order to be treated for superficial injuries and was then released. Michael Byers has been booked into the Nye County Detention Center under the charges of attempted murder with a deadly weapon and assault with a deadly weapon on a protected person. Per standard procedure, Huggins is now on administrative leave. Once the investigation is concluded, it is to be provided to the Nye County District Attorney's Office to be reviewed. The Nye County Sheriff's Office will not be providing any further statements regarding this incident due to it being an ongoing investigation.
At approximately 9:36 this morning, the Combined Communications Center in Las Vegas received a report of a mobile home fire. After firefighters arrived on scene, it was reported that the mobile home was up against a residence. Fire crews quickly extinguished the fire and protected the home. One victim has been transported to the hospital due to thermal burns. No other injuries are reported. A Las Vegas man is arrested for an alleged drug deal that turns deadly. Samantha Roberts has this story.
On Tuesday, May 14th, police responded to a shooting in the 300 block of Sturgeon Lane just before 10:30 p.m. When officers arrived, they discovered a man suffering from multiple gunshot wounds in the landscape area of the apartment complex. Investigation revealed that the victim was shot during a marijuana drug deal. The suspect fled the scene after the shooting. Detectives were able to identify 21-year-old Jeremiah Smith as the suspect in the case and took him into custody on May 15th. Smith appeared in court yesterday, Thursday, May 16th, and is facing multiple felony charges, which include open murder with a deadly weapon. He's expected back in court on Tuesday, May 21st, and will remain in custody until then.
A Las Vegas-based company is granted permission to exchange stock in order to begin building a Las Vegas spaceport. RJ Camacho reports.
The Securities and Exchange Commission granted permission for a Las Vegas-based company to begin selling stock in its effort to build a spaceport on 240 acres of land it acquired about 15 minutes outside of Pahrump in June of 2023. It is also 15 minutes away from the 39 million tourists who drop over $1 billion in just the gaming revenue alone every month. The Las Vegas spaceport, according to CEO Rob Lauer, will be a spaceport as well as a development featuring a hotel and casino to attract space tourism, but also provide education and training facilities to prepare the scientists and space pilots of the future. Dave Rappel, the senior regulatory expert for Las Vegas Spaceport Incorporated, says there are a number of reasons why Clark County is an ideal location for a spaceport. Rappel says SpaceX and United Launch Alliance have demonstrated in recent years that spaceflight can be dependable and safe, but it will take several years for Las Vegas Spaceport to get its runway certified by the FAA. In short term, Lauer says Las Vegas Spaceport has a couple of goals. Their first step here is to build an education facility, one with a STEM academy where they are able to train the next generation of rocket scientists. Rappel, who is the former CEO of Spaceport Colorado, says the technology has advanced to the point where more people can afford to become space tourists, and in the not too distant future, those journeys could extend well beyond spending a few days on the International Space Station or a privately operated space hotel. If you would like to invest in this Las Vegas spaceport, or if you have any questions, you can call 1-855-587-7223, or you can email contact@lasvegasspacecenter.com.
We have your political news on the other side of this break. You're watching Southern Nevada News Network.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Da Shop LV, vape and smoke accessories where you can always find the Aloha spirit. Located at 1555 East Flamingo Road in Las Vegas. News 25 is also brought to you by Tower Pizza, voted best pizza in Pahrump 2023. Give them a call at 775-537-2211, 775-537-2211, or visit the website www.towerpizzanv.com.
Welcome back to News 25. One of the candidates running for Justice of the Peace in Courtroom B came into our KPVM studios on Wednesday to record a rebuttal based on comments made by another candidate. News 25 ran part 1 on our broadcast yesterday. Here is now part 2 of that rebuttal.
In Ms. Fiore's interview with KPVM Channel 25, she said that I want to remove Nye County from the state of Nevada and make Nye County its own state. While I am no longer involved in the new Nevada state movement, I can reply to this false allegation. The public debate moderated by Deanna O'Donnell, I corrected Ms. Fiore twice about the new Nevada state movement. She said that the new Nevada state movement was a secessionist movement. A secessionist movement is what the southern states did in 1861 when they tried to secede from the Union of states called the United States of America. The New Nevada State Movement wants to form a new state and help form a more perfect union. Her later public statements to KPVM, where she repeated this false allegation about New Nevada State seceding from Nevada, reveals all she made her allegations with a reckless disregard for the truth, if not a knowingly false allegation. In the same interview, the incumbent said that I came from California for the purpose of running for justice of the peace. That is, again, a completely false allegation. I came to Nevada after I retired from the Butte County District Attorney's Office. My house in Gridley, California sold, and so I had to move someplace. Since I was a longtime member of Front Sight Firearms Training, I decided to move where I could reasonably and regularly shoot at Front Sight, which is Pahrump, Nevada. I moved in 2017. I was happily retired and I was not running for office, nor was I considering running for office. I was on the Nye County Planning Commission for a while and often spoke to the Board of Commissioners and to the Nye County Republican Central Committee about issues of importance at the time I was speaking. In November 2023, I was asked by several people whom I will not name to run for judicial office. I found I was qualified to run for Justice of the Peace for many reasons. First, I have an extensive trial experience, both in California and Oregon and in the Marine Corps. I have seen how courts should be run. Second, I was a municipal court judge for 13 months in Oregon. In Oregon, municipal court judges, for the most part, handle the same kinds of cases that a justice of the peace handles here in Nevada. Thus, I have practical judicial experience. Third, I have been both a prosecutor and a public defender. I know how to look at both sides of an issue and not jump to conclusions or respond emotionally. What conclusions I draw are rational and fact-based.
News 25 will have more on this rebuttal on our Monday news broadcast. As we take a look at historical venues across southern Nevada, News 25 correspondent Maria Centers now joins us from Las Vegas in the final segment of our two-part special with the National Atomic Testing Museum.
The National Atomic Testing Museum right here in Las Vegas illustrates America's nuclear weapons testing program at the Nevada test site. We are now joined by museum curator Joseph Kent, who details the rare weaponry displayed at the Smithsonian-affiliated institution in a two-part special.
For those who are learning more about this history due to the recent Fallout TV show, they'd be excited to learn that we actually have a Ford Nucleon model here at the Atomic Museum. It was designed and built in 1958. And it went on to actually inspire some of the cars seen in the Fallout universe. And so it's an authentic model from the Ford Nucleon concept car that was designed by the Ford Motor Company.
Just about 75 miles northwest of Las Vegas, the Nevada National Security Site is maintained in a state of underground testing readiness should testing be resumed. Richard Rhodes wrote the Pulitzer Prize-winning book, The Making of the Atomic Bomb. I'm assuming you've read it. What do you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's one of the definitive books about the nuclear weapons testing program, specifically about the Manhattan Project, and so it's really required reading for anybody who wants to learn more about, you know, this world of nuclear testing.
According to its website, the National Atomic Testing Museum is priced at $29 for adults, $25 for Nevada residents, and $27 for military and first responders.
Nellis is really an important part of the community, and so any opportunity that we get to partner with them, we'll always look forward to it, and they've been great over the years. So, you know, just like with many community partners, they're just one that we always look forward to working with.
Reporting from Las Vegas, I'm Maria Centers with News 25 Las Vegas.
The National Atomic Testing Museum is located near the Strip on Flamingo Road and is open 7 days a week. Here's Mikey with your look at sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Anybody got butter? Las Vegas Aviators are on a roll. They beat the El Paso Chihuahuas last night again, 7-3, a rematch tonight at 7:05. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers will return to Las Vegas for another exhibition matchup later this year. The Lakers announced their preseason schedule for 2024, which includes a trip to T-Mobile Arena to play the Golden State Warriors on October 15th. The Las Vegas Aces return to action tomorrow afternoon against the Los Angeles Sparks, Sin City versus the City of Angels. And Pahrump Valley Trojans track team are in Carson City today for the state championship. Good luck. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
We have your classic country breakfast after the break. You're watching Southern Nevada News Network.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. Here's Mikey to tell us what's cooking on Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning on Ace Country Radio and Channel 25.8.
Howdy. On the menu this week on Classic Country Breakfast, born on May 13th, Darius Rucker. We'll celebrate him. Born on May 15th, Richard Edward Arnold, who became known as Eddie Arnold. We'll pay tribute to him. Born on May 18th, Joe Bosnell from the Oak Ridge Boys. We'll celebrate him. Also born on May 18th, George Strait, the King of Country. We'll celebrate him. In the Not an Oldie But a Goodie segment, my special guest, Jay Gavin, calls the show to talk about his brand of folked-up outlaw country music and his new album, Road Ready.
He hired Jeff Williams first. That's the first guy I met. Jeff played with June Carter Cash and the Carter family. He was the music director for those guys. And he actually wrote the Road Ready song for me when we were in the studio. That's the only song on the album I didn't write.
Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning at 8 on Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV, Channel 25.8.
In today's business brief, Maria Centers talks with the founder and CEO of Gold Standard X in Dallas, Texas, in our Segment 2 report.
What inspired you to establish a business focused on dealing with precious metals?
So I started again as a small child collecting coins. I absolutely loved it from day one. Not only the history of them, but just the value and figuring out why they have such intrinsic value. And we soon realized that there was a broader reach for doing precious metals, and there are so many people that maybe didn't want to put money into the stock market or real estate, and this was an avenue that they could go down where they could protect their funds and also have quite a good return.
Can you please elaborate on the distinctions between collecting silver and gold as well as other metals?
So we see what's going on with fiat currency. We see the inflation. We see that there's uncertainty in the market. That is the perfect time to be in precious metals. They tend to not only keep their value during those economic uncertain times, but also increase significantly. We saw in the housing crisis of 2008 how well precious metals did. We saw at the beginning of COVID how well they did as well. And so again, lifelong, over the last 50 years, precious metals have gone up more than 11% per year, but specifically during times that are uncertain, they go up more than that. So this would be the perfect time, with the way that inflation is going, to look into precious metals. So you can reach Gold Standard X via email 24/7. You can reach out to us at info@biggoldstandard.com. You can also reach out via our phone lines. They're available Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We also have direct Slack messages, or you can send a number of messages on the different platforms we are on, and we will absolutely get back to you within a few hours. Gold Standard X is open 7 days a week. We hold auctions through the weekend. We have advisors available Monday through Friday to take any questions or see if there's an avenue that works best for you, whether you're buying or selling. We're happy to work with evaluating collections and also seeing what we can do for you.
News 25 will have additional segments from the founder, Christian Leahy, here on our news broadcasts next week.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Taking a look outside through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam, it's looking mostly sunny and hot. Rory tells us what's in store for next week.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Pahrump's Bill Hochstedler, Republican candidate for State Senate District 19, endorsed by the Nye County GOP.
Good evening, Nevada. I'm Rory Rosell here from the Channel 25 Weather Studios and streaming everywhere at KPVM.TV and now Roku. Taking a look at Nevada right now, up in northern Nevada, Fernley is at 86 degrees, Fallon is at 88, Carson City and Tonopah both at 82 degrees, Goldfield at 84, Beatty at 93 degrees, Amargosa at 98, Las Vegas at 97, and Death Valley at 109 degrees. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, it is currently 94 degrees. The high today just a little while ago was 96 degrees. It was sunny today, wind blowing south-southwest at 9 miles per hour, humidity 10% today. And the sun rose this morning at 5:35 and is going to set at 7:45 p.m. tonight. The humidity does raise up to 25% and the wind is going to continue to blow southeast at 10 miles per hour. The low tonight is going to be 64 degrees, and with clear skies, let's take a look at the rest of the week. It looks like we're going to have partly cloudy skies on Saturday, but for the rest of the week, we're going to have clear skies, and we're going to be in the low 90s into the 80s in next week, and the following week back up into the 90s. Back to the desk, here's David.
Thank you, Rory. Well, that wraps up this edition of News 25. I'm David Preston. Have a great weekend.